Another troubling sign for the retail industry. Fewer Americans are hitting the stores to shop. Retail sales were down 1/3% in May, the biggest decline in 16 months. Joining us right now to talk more about the environment is the CEO of Kohl's, Kevin Mansell, joining us right now, based right here in Wisconsin. Kevin, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, we're happy to talk about what's going on in an industry that seems to be changing drastically. How would you characterize the environment right now for retail?
I think changing is a good word. The speed of change is probably greater than it's been in a long, long time. As you know, of course, more and more people are buying online and fewer people are shopping in store. And so for a company like Kohl's, which had been historically primarily a brick and mortar retailer, it's an environment that we have to evolve into.
Have you changed your strategy already or significantly?
We have. Kohl's is probably differentiated a bit from some of the stories of some of the companies that have had more troubles, particularly mall-based companies. We're not mall-based, as you know. We're off-mall. 95% of our stores are off-mall. We've always been focused on value, and value, as you know, is really important with consumers today as well. And we've had an evolving and growing digital business. We've invested a lot, Maria. We've invested a lot in our stores. We've invested a lot in technology to kind of evolve with the consumer.
A lot of these retail stores are now, using their space in a different way, turning what was, floor space to sell products into a place to distribute goods and more like a warehouse to service more of their online. Is that something that Kohl's is looking at?
It is. The fact that we're off-mall and the fact that we have a big footprint. We have 1,200 stores. Yeah. We do almost 19.
I shop at Kohl's.
Good.
I'm a Wisconsin girl.
We're happy. That footprint gives us an opportunity to provide convenience to our customers in the way you're describing, which is including things like buy online, but pick up in store.
Pick up in store,
or use our stores to ship goods from that people buy online as well. Our focus and our target really is to be a best-in-class omni-channel retailer. So to recognize, really, the consumer decides how she wants to buy. We just have to be there for her regardless of how she decides.
Thank you for acknowledging that it's the woman who makes all the financial decisions in the home.
The woman is the CEO of the household.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Kevin, retail sales broadly in May, weakest in more than a year in like 16 months. What does the consumer look like right now? Are you worried?
We're from an annual perspective looking at modestly lower sales. We had a March-April period we talked about in the May earnings call where we were down about 1%. And as I said on the earnings call, that continued into May. That's kind of our expectation for the year. There's upside from that for sure, but our expectation is that sort of down 1 or so is what we would expect going forward.
Kevin, let's talk a little about the agenda. We've been talking about the president's agenda, whether or not we're going to see tax reform and health care reform this year. Make the case of why you don't want to see a border adjustment tax.
I think that case is really simple to make. At the end of the day,
Well, Ryan, are you listening?
To really think that consumers should pay more for the kinds of products that they buy every day from companies like Kohl's doesn't make any sense at all.
Why will you have to raise prices?
It's going to cost us more. From the perspective of running a business, we will pay a much higher effective tax rate, and we're going to have to find ways to navigate that. And of course, one of the ways you're going to end up navigating that is with higher prices. And consumers are resistant, as you know, to higher prices. But it's really, to me, just doesn't make any sense at all.
But would it bring some of the products that you're bringing in from other countries? Would a border adjustment tax have the effect of those products now being made here?
Most of the categories we sell, there is no industry in the U.S. anymore. And I don't think
Could it pop up? We're seeing now companies that were making things in China are now going to be making them here.
I think on a small scale that's an opportunity, but I don't even think that's an industry that we want Americans to work in. I think that's an industry, it is an entry-level kind of industry, and it belongs where it is now. So I don't suspect that would happen, and we don't have alternatives. We really don't.
And you don't see an offset to a corporate tax rate of 20%? Corporate tax rates would come down as well. You don't see an offset because taxes would go lower overall.
No, our effective tax rate with a border tax is something in the range of 80%.
Oh, God.
Up from 38% right now.
That's incredible.
There's the business side of that, which doesn't make any sense, but I think, frankly, I think legislators have to think about it from a voter perspective and a consumer perspective, which is higher prices doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, good luck getting reelected if you're selling that to your constituents.
So give us one product, like on average. What's one product, and what do you see the price change? One product that you sell, so that it resonates with people, that they understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, for the most part, a core item of Kohl's in a private brand, which might go out the door today at $10, is suddenly going to start costing $12 or $12.50. Branded product. We have a great new brand introduction this year, Under Armour, which we love, and those products are going to go up in price a lot.
Kevin's shoes are Under Armour, by the way. I know that.
I like those shoes.
I've
got those sneakers, actually. I have the same sneakers.
If my back-to-school shopping gets any higher, I can't take it. I mean, that's just...
We love families with kids, so you qualify as that.
I qualify.
Eight kids. She's that superwoman. She's incredible. Kevin, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Great to see you as well.
Thanks for explaining the border adjustment tax to all of us. Kevin Mansell joining us there.